Welcome to the morning show, directly from K 2016. Our topic today is US Internet of Things, Industry 4.0. My name is Thorsten Kühlmann, VDMA. My guests are Wolfgang Meisen, Head of Communication and PR, Kuka Robotics. Welcome. And John Winsler, President of Winsler Gear. Good morning.
Glad to be here. Thank you.
So if we talk about Industry 4.0, I learned this is called Internet of Things in the US. And if this is a big topic in the US, as well as here on K-Show, everywhere where you look around, you can say see Industry 4.0 or Internet of Things. My first question goes to Mr. Meisen. Mr. Meisen, talking about Kuka, how do you go along with Internet of Things? What's your concept?
Well, I'm glad you mentioned also the different meanings or terms that we have, whether it's Industry 4.0 or the Internet of Things, which basically bases on the same thing, the entire smart factory thinking that we strive for. And Kuka is a robot supplier and a huge system and application builder is eagerly trying to fulfill the needs of customers that need to come by a higher degree of flexibility than ever before. Flexibility meaning we have way shorter product life cycles today, we have varying energy resources, we have an aging workforce and a higher demand for individualization. And therefore we need smart machines, and the robot is such a smart machine, if not the smart and flexible machine in nowadays production systems. But it's not only about the mechanical machine, it's about bringing the devices together. The Internet of Things means that software devices, machines can communicate, can talk to each other. This means we have a need for new cloud-based systems for monitoring, analyzing, controlling, and making it easier to control and teach, for example, a robot or program a machine. And as Kuka, we work very hard in order to move forward in that field and to make it easier to enable our customers around the world, and especially in the US, for the Internet of Things.
Talking about the US, Mr. Winsler, your company is on the way to Internet of Things. Can you describe how this works?
Well, the challenge for us is that being in Chicago and manufacturing is not looked upon as very favorable for the automobile industry. So we're looking for ways that we can be globally competitive and not have to be in a low-cost country for our production. So that the journey that we're on with our partner Engel to implement a smart factory in 4.0 is to drive more waste and inefficiency out of the plant. So the two primary objectives we're looking for today would be to take a good hard look at our overall equipment efficiency and find improvements that justify these investments, and that drives predictive preventative maintenance to become more proactive in keeping the machinery up and running. But it's a challenge just to remain viable in the automobile industry today.
But so your motivation is you want to keep the production in the US, and for that you need Internet of Things
more specifically Chicago.
Okay, in Chicago, yeah.
So we can continue our 76 years in business.
Okay, so
yes, but in other words, just to and I'll just tell you honestly, I'm a mechanical engineer by degree, but my background is racing, and so the biggest example of Internet of Things, of course, is Formula One. So we're really taking large data and we're trying to do the same thing in our company. Just to learn how to gather the data and use it productively to differentiate ourselves from our competitors.
Okay. Mr. Meisen, you've got really big customers in the US, very well-known customers. Can you explain in what way do they react when you come with Internet of Things? Do you come to them and do you have to sell this, or do they approach you and say, hey, we need Internet of Things, Kuka, do something?
Well, the Internet of Things is not a product shelf that you can pick one off and say, hey, is that something that you would be interested in? Although there may be standardized products one day or standardized systems. But furthermore, we work with customers, for example, like Tesla electric cars in California that are rallying for modern solutions and for having the best materials, the best processes, and the most productive processes, relying on Kuka technology. By the way, we work with Boeing airplane manufacturing in the US. Automotive, of course, is something that the robotics industry grew up with. We have Kuka. Kuka has the Jeep Wrangler production, the Kuka Toledo production plant in Toledo, Ohio is a big project that we've been working on for years already, way before the entire I4O or IoT thing came up. And these customers, they need flexible and new solutions and data-driven solutions, new processes. They need easier usability, and these are demands that they bring in and that we need to comply with. And so it's not like a standardized product. I don't think that is the right form to mention it. It's rather an evolution, furthermore than a revolution, by the way, an evolution that takes place in a variety of industries, and that we try to meet, because if we don't, then new systems will come up, and especially, and we've seen that in many B2C industries, where communication-driven systems, data-driven systems, and data-driven services have become crucial. And data mining and the usage of big data and analyzing it and developing new products, just like preventive maintenance, for example, is something that would be a perfect fit and benefit for these customers.
So if I get you right, this is a long-lasting process. It's nothing which has just happened. This is something which has been taking place in the US for a longer time, and companies like Boeing, Jeep, and Tesla, they are demanding this because they need this for more flexibility. Yeah.
Of course, it has a fancy name since a couple of years now, but it's something that derives from initial demands of these industries. Actually, that entire IoT term actually means that the IT and OT, old technology, come together and have benefit from each other. And so probably we as a German company furthermore have been on the mechanical side, whereas the Americans are the software experts and on the data and programming side. And bringing both strengths together is what it means to create IoT solutions.
Of course, sitting here on K-Show, having so many machinery manufacturers here, I will never use the term old technology. I mean, look at those machines; they're so fine, they're so advanced. But I know what you mean. This must come together. I'm just wondering. You're just going ahead and say, okay, let's set up a speed factory. I mean, this is not an easy task.
No, but it's not easy. It's not easy to survive in business today.
Okay.
There's not done. 75 years success doesn't guarantee us tomorrow.
No, but tell us, what are your steps? I mean, because I think a lot of converters they really wonder. Okay, Internet of Things sounds very interesting. What are the steps you take?
As I say, there are two objectives we're working on right now. One is with our partner Engel, and that's we've been partners for a long time. Strategically collaborating on many activities. So we're relying on our machine tool partner to bring us resources that as a small manufacturer we may not be able to afford. So there's two aspects. One's a vision. We have a vision for what we want to do. We're investing time and money to wire up the equipment to get the IT infrastructure in place. Another aspect that we're working on right now is very, very critical is we've brought in some out-times consultants just to work on a strategic plan for talent, because we have gaps in our talent pool today, but there are going to be different gaps tomorrow. And it's one thing to collect data, it's something else to do something with it. Yeah. So that we've got a parallel path of develop the workforce or figure out what the workforce should look like. with data analytics and who's going to analyze the data, combined with just driving forward, because we're going to have to, hopefully we can be a leader and fail sooner, so we'll learn more going forward than our competition. And we want to be at the forefront of this because we believe that there are wonderful opportunities to drive other automation. For example, there's a lot of examples today of plants that can run lights out, but they're not doing automated inspection, they're not doing some of the downstream activities. Through data collection and comparing mechanical measurement data to process data, we can start to move to more process data to drive more economics and less labor content in our product, and still ensure our automotive customers are going to get 100% good product.
I think that's a very good argument altogether for going this direction, and you've got a full concept in your head, and I think there's still very many things you would like to do for Internet of Things or Industry 4.0. Gentlemen, the time is over already. I'm very sorry. I would have loved to chat on with you. Thank you very much for giving your ideas and your expectations for Internet of Things. Thank you very much for watching, and I would love seeing you again. Bye-bye. Ciao.